Yo, what's up, you guys? So today is gonna be a little topic. I was, surfing around the internet, and I'm pretty sure, y'all know the show called Yu Yu Hakusho, the classic, the show before Hunter x Hunter, the same writer as Hunter x Hunter, and yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho is one of those hidden gems that you gotta check out if you love Dragon Ball, if you love Naruto, you're gonna love that show. It came out in the '90s, same time around Dragon Ball Z was airing, so there's that. Now, if you watch Yu Yu Hakusho, you know how the show is, man. They have, I think, three different arcs, and all arcs are bangers. And plus, they got the best tournament saga in all anime. And that, and plus the other arcs, the villains, the characters. I think those are like the driving force of the show. And even like just the vibe, like the '90s aesthetics and the whole story of the show, how it's like uniquely different than others. And I think that's what people like about the show. And yeah, I think the show got like 106 or 8 episodes, or probably 14. I forgot. I know it had like a little over 100 episodes, and it ended on a good note. Honestly, it had a good ending. I enjoyed the ending, but I will say, like, the final arc of the Yu Yu Hakusho, it could have been a lot better. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the final arc was good in Yu Yu Hakusho, but like, you can't really deny that it was rushed. It was setting up stuff for like the final stuff, like with the new demon people and demon tournament, and this whole nother world that they're gonna explore. But it kind of like just ended off there, like when spoiler alert, by the way. I say that if you haven't really watched Yu Yu Hakusho, if you're not finished, you probably shouldn't watch this video. But they definitely, of course, Yusuke, he had all them lose. Like, I think the first or second round, could be the second round, which makes sense. But they was doing a lot of setup just for them to lose first round and say, oh, you go home. But the reason behind that, of course, is Tagashi, the creator of the show, was actually starting like to deteriorate his health because like from the constant work schedule of the manga industry. So I think he was like, he wanted to take a break from it and just end the show, or like just get away from it for like a while. And of course that's why he ended the manga and the show. Yeah, and the show kind of had like a happy ending, which of course I liked. It was great seeing that. Yeah, that was basically the end of Yu Yu Hakusho. And then of course I was thinking that later on throughout the years, I think after Yu Yu Hakusho ended, I think in '99, '98. I could be wrong. Could be like a year later. Like I said, I just know it was in the '90s where Hunter x Hunter started, like the OG version of Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, that's when that started. And then of course Tagashi wanted to explore his, other writing capabilities in that show and in the future as well. So yeah. But the thing that always left me wondering about the Yu Yu Hakusho is that what if we continue, like what if we would have got, like, instead of Chimera Ant arc of Hunter x Hunter, what if we would have got that in Yu Yu Hakusho? Now let me explain. Of course, like in the manga anime, of course they animate the same thing, stuff like that, but some stuff is different, like the ways the demon acts and the demon's motives in the anime and in the manga too, because it might show like similar things, but like the motives are different in a way. Because if again the anime, the manga definitely went into more details about that, but the anime did talk briefly about it, which was the Sensui, character, and the Sensui art, as like I think they call it Chapter Black or something like that. But I like to call it Sensui arc, and if you know Sensui as like a villain, the show, his motives was very interesting because, spoiler alert once again, his motive is that the reason he hates, humans, and the reason for him being like a spirit detective like Yusuke, but actually turning his backs against them and kill humans, was basically because the humans was the one that was torturing the demons in that world, once he found that out. And then that was like the shocking twist of the whole show, and then that explains his action. But like I said, I think the manga went into more detail about that, like how that was a thing and stuff like that. But anime, I remember them going over the anime. But yeah, so regarding that could have like changed the whole story by itself. And of course they follow after that, of course defeating Sensui, and then more demons starting to come. Like we learned the demon behind Yusuke, his demon form, and then Hihei, master from his childhood, coming to play, and then a whole bunch of stuff, just starts, developing in the show. And towards the final arc, at least. So from that twist alone, I think, if Yu Yu Hakusho would have continued, like if it became like a long running show, like 300 episodes, something like that, it would have followed the Hunter x Hunter route. And what I mean by that is, if you remember like the first 2 arcs in Hunter x Hunter, 2011 version, of course. Yeah, I think there was a tournament, and then there was a York New arc where, of course, Gon and Killer was like, kids, and they didn't know how to react to certain stuff. And then basically that's when the villains just took over and it went crazy. And everything was like dark, because once the what is it called, Phantom Troop Requiem, once that happened, oh boy, yeah, it's like a horror movie or a horror film, bro. Away from that, and then just remember how they used to act back in, like, the first 2 arcs, and even when they met Biscuit, Gon was like, a nice kid. I feel like enthusiastic personality, and Killer was like the smart kid with the cool persona, and a very skilled kid. Both very kind to each other and both kind to others most of the time. And then for them to go like to normal kids, happy-go-lucky kids until they come in an arc where they literally face reality and characters switch. Like the development was insane to me. I remember going from like this happy kid to this dark kid, like this evil monster. He became the monster in the end, and then Killer was like this so-called monster in the beginning. Even though he had like don't get me wrong, he had like a happy and calm personality, but he was considered like a monster because his family was a whole assassin clan, and the Zodiac family was something else. But yeah, just for him to go from like a killer from what people know him as to like this caring, sincere person. And the same can go along with Kurapika and even Lario as well. Like even other characters show they develop in the same ways too. But I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho would have followed suit in that same dark route they continue, because like I said, with the twist revolving like the humans, torturing demons and them like being like control of the demons, that would possibly led Yusuke to him being like this cocky, trash-talking kid who loves to fight to literally like become the next Taguro with him destroying probably all the humans or helping the demons, and him like just becoming a monster himself. That would have been like an insane development if the show continued. And then even regarding Hihei, he probably would have turned, and like especially involving his sister, that whole storyline by itself is interesting. His sister probably, if he would have met his sister again and like he probably revealed himself to his sister, he could like became like Killer in a way, like become more kind and more like sincere human. It's like him become like this dark character in the show in the beginning, and him becoming kind in the end. Even though that kind of did happen in the actual show, but like we just saw more of that. Him caring for others, and like instead of like killing people that he doesn't trust, like just caring and understanding other people, like stories and backgrounds. And honestly, I feel like all these characters, of course besides Hiei, who I just mentioned, I feel like Kurama, Kuwabara could all follow the same suit, like head towards the dark path if they would continue. Like it probably would, like, if you remember, I don't know why I got this feeling, but if you remember how the Dark Continent was in Hunter x Hunter after the anime ended, I feel like that whole scenario and that whole like atmosphere could have applied to the demon world in Yu Yu Hakusho, because they were setting up just like that, bro. Like it could have been something like crazy dark, and that could like change the honestly, it could have like a dark ending for Yu Yu Hakusho if they continued. Like instead of the happy ending we got, like it could have ended if like one of the main characters just tragically like dying or some way, or like just like something tragic happened to the main character. Could have affected like other characters in the show in like the worst way possible. Like I feel like it could have headed towards the dark path, but we'll never know, because of course I'm pretty sure the show is not really coming back. It had like a nice ending, it had a nice climax, so there's no reason to bring it back. But like one day if they ever decide to do a reboot, I already made a video talking about 5 animes that need like to have a comeback. It could be dealing with like modern animation, and just if they continue the story like they did with Hunter x Hunter, add like a new arc that changes everything, and then just what I'm saying, it could work. But like I said, we never know. It's very slim to none that chance that happening, because we can barely get Tagashi to finish his own new series, Hunter x Hunter, because we don't know what he's doing right now. But yeah, that's just my theory of how Yu Yu Hakusho could have been if it continued. It probably would have headed towards a more darker path than the show. But yeah, it's just interesting theory, right? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Let me know what you think about your own theory or what you think about the show in general. So yeah, that being said, I love y'all. Yu Yu Hakusho is definitely top 10 in my series, like all-time anime. So make sure you check it out. It's a great show. And yeah, love y'all. Bye.